Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Dave coming to you from the fireside here in the Wyoming house. It is it's Wednesday afternoon. It's about 6:15, 6:30, a little bit earlier today. Um, let's see. So in my last video, I showed you the guys going out to what we call Teton Village or the West Village. It's at the base of Jackson Mountain Ski Resort, the big famous ski area known as Jackson Hole. And we went back out there today. So we were out there on Sunday. It was a perfect day. Today it looked like it was almost perfect again, and we got a snowstorm coming in for the next few days. So put out an email, and 6 of us showed up out there this afternoon. But we're at a place called the Ascent Bar. It's on the back deck of the Four Seasons Hotel. And they kicked us out at 4:45 because they have a private party that was taking the whole place. So anyway, so we rolled out about an hour earlier than usual, which meant I got home an hour earlier, which means I get to talk to you a little bit earlier today. So that's what's going on. So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna turn around and show you Sasha and out the back window here, and then we'll come back and chat a little bit. So just tell you show the fire, and there's Sasha in her place on the couch, on the bear rug, having a scratch. She's ready for dinner. That's what I thought I'd show you out the back window because we still got a little bit of light. We got a winter storm coming in, but I thought I'd show you the Grand Teton with the storm clouds starting to come across it. Right out the back window, pretty cool. So my day today started out pretty weird. I woke up this morning to a notice from YouTube that my video 519, my last video, had been declared in violation of community policy, that they had pulled it down. They gave me a strike and banned me from YouTube for 2 weeks. I had never, in my year and 3 or 4 months, I've never had that happen on my car channel that I ran for a few years. I'd never had that happen. It was literally my first experience being banned and getting a strike. So luckily they sent me an email and they said, click here if you wish to appeal it. And I've heard from several of you guys that when you get your videos banned, that the appeal doesn't allow you to discuss why you want to appeal it. But luckily when I clicked appeal, it brought a box up and said, if you wish to make any comments about why you're appealing our decision, please do. So one of the comments that the video deletion email told me was you should age restrict your videos, which I do. All 519 of my videos have been age restricted by me because we talk about things that aren't kid appropriate. And anytime you touch anything that's tobacco related, you instantly draw a strike if you're not age restricted. So typed all that in, and it took them 3 minutes. I couldn't believe it. Must be automated. In 3 minutes, they said, you're right, we made a mistake. Your appeal's been granted. They reinstated the video, removed my strike, said no further actions required on my part. And then they brought all the comments back too, because I was worried that they were just going to repost the video. So kind of a crazy start to the day today, but kind of ended all ended well, right? All's well that ends well, something like that. So video 519 is back up. What really confused me was 519 was my third video yesterday. The first two were about tobacco and pipes. The one they banned, the third one, was totally social, about Sasha and snow and going to the Ascent Lounge and meeting my boys. I mean, totally a social video. I have no idea of the three why they picked that one to ban and give me a strike for. But anyway, it's all over. No big deal. Just a very weird beginning to the day. So I'm having some great calls with some of you guys. A couple of you are on actual rotation. I've done a few with you, and one of you I do every month now. So it's really been it's been a great experience for me. I love the conversations. If you find them helpful, you know, and the track we put you on, the actions we do together. I mean, I'm hoping that you find it helpful. But I enjoy the calls, and I had a great one on Saturday. In fact, I have a new guy on Friday, not tomorrow, but Friday morning. So Anyway, it's starting to roll a little bit. This idea of CEO school, investment school, life school, it's kind of rolling a little bit. It's kind of fun. But so I have one CEO school / life school, right? Isn't it interesting how many times these things kind of bound together? It's very hard to talk about being a CEO without talking about life issues too. So anyway, one item for tonight, and that is the concept of converting a hobby into a business. So that's the one item I want to talk about with you tonight. All right, so again, the topic is converting a hobby into your lifestyle, the way you pay for life. So I'll preface this with a couple of things. I've been doing this more often when I provide advice or recommendations. It always comes, everybody's advice, thoughts, recommendations, anyone in your life, including you, if you give them, but anybody giving recommendations or thoughts comes with a bias. It doesn't matter how independent we feel we are, we come with a life bias, me included. And so as we talk about this, I've said this in past videos, these sayings like, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, or do what you love and the money will follow. Two of the biggest crap sentences on the planet. Hopefully Jim will prove me wrong, Corvette Jim, with his gunsmithing work that he's doing for this small shop. But we'll see as it turns into a 40-hour week, week after week, month after month, as that turns into that daily 40-hour-a-week grind, we'll see if the love for it stays, because I haven't seen that in the past. And in fact, that's part of the conversation we're going to have tonight. Personally, I don't recommend changing a hobby that you love and that you do in your spare time and that you do as an escape from the rest of the grind of life, to turn that into part of the grind of life. I've never seen it work, and I've never seen it work without stomping out the love of what you're doing as a vocation, because it by definition becomes the grind. So where did this come from? On Saturday morning, I was talking to my guy who's my regular, and he said something about, well, I had to divert from my plan for a while because I had to add in a couple things to add some fun back into it. And we're only 2 months into the year with that conversation. And that just really triggered me into, wow, I just want to talk directly to you guys about kind of this myth of converting an avocation into a vocation, a hobby into your business. It's certainly possible to do it. And if that's what you want to do, that is what you should do. I just recommend against it, because then you eventually have to go find another hobby to get away from the grind you've created by repositioning your hobby into your job. It's something that you do a couple hours here and a couple hours there, and late evenings when you got to get away from the wife and the kids or the house or the job, or the thing you do on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon to get away, to convert that into 8 hours a day, X units per day, X units per week, X units per month, sold at this price with this cost, so you get this much net income or profit, so that you can make your mortgage payment or your car payment or your kids' tuition payments or your taxes or whatever it is. I just really want you to think through. I love doing this, but I have a feeling that love is wrapped in because it gets me away from the grind, and then to push that thing into the position of, well, I've quit my job or I've retired out of my job and I've got to produce this many things, whether it be billable hours, this many clients, this many pipes, this many knives, this many whatever it is, or I can't pay and I fail and I have to go back to work. So I just really want to put that out there as a counter to this idea of, well, I'm going to convert my hobby into my business. I just want to create a different thought process, something that really to think through that most people don't bring up when you have this conversation. You know, your friends, your family, your coworkers, everyone's going to say, oh my God, that sounds so amazing. You know, you're going to become, you love to travel, so you're going to turn travel into your business. Well, that means you got to have 50 people on 6 tours a year for a week to 10 days each to make enough money to turn enough profit to supplant your income. And all of a sudden, the love of travel gets superseded by, oh, God damn it, I've got 4 more days to book 10 more people for the next trip. And then I get back from that trip and I've got to book 45 more people on the next trip. And it just turns into this absolute grind. And I know a lot of people who end up hating travel by becoming travel agents or travel bloggers or whatever you want to call it. So I've seen it the same with people who love to fish and they like to make their own fishing lures or their own fishing poles. So they go, hey, you know what? I'm going to start my own little fishing supply company. And it turns into a grind. You got to make 50 flies a week. You got to sell them at $20 each. You got to sell them for $15 profit. You got to make 10 poles a month. You got to sell them. And you see what I mean? It just turns into this grind. And guess what? You're never wet. You're never fishing anymore because you're grinding out your fishing supplies so that you can make enough money to cover the cost to then provide profit to then pay your bills. And it doesn't matter what you do. Car repairs, I love cars. I love working on cars. Well, if you're going to start your own repair garage, you got to have 10 cars a week at $500 profit a week or whatever it is. And we can go down any of your loves, any of your avocations, any of your hobbies, and have this exact conversation. There is, in my opinion, no hobby that is insulated from this thought process. And I think I'll finish this topic up with going back to I just go over this material so often, but I feel it's so important. If we're going to start a side gig, if you're going to start a side business, you need to start a business with something that you're good at, something you have experience with, something that people will be willing to pay you because of who or what you are, or what you can do, or what you can produce, not so much what you love. So we'll see. Gosh, and if you have examples of people who said, no, I converted my hobby to my sole line of income and I still love it to this day 5 years later, please, throw those up in a comment or a text or an email, because I would love to hear some real life examples. I personally know of none. I know lots of people, 30, 40 people in the last 10 years who have done this, and the business has absolutely failed because either you couldn't produce the net income, the profit to live on, or the grind required to do it crushed your soul, crushed the life, the love out of it, and it just failed out. So anyway, do what you're good at. Do what you're tried and true to good at. Do what you can demonstrate experience being good at. Stay away from your vocation, your avocations, your loves, your hobbies. Because again, I'll say it again, converting a hobby to a grinding business usually grinds the love of it out of you as well. So I think with that, I'm going to be done with this. And just say I hope you had a great few days. Let's see, you got a couple more days left of the week. We're in Lent if you are such a person. I'm not really a Lent guy. So we'll see. I know some people are actually giving up social media for Lent. I thought that was interesting. The other comment I have is it's interesting how many people are taking breaks from making videos. They either have run out of material, Dave at St. Dave's made a great video about I just run dry on material, so I'm not making any more videos. And other people have gone to a video a month or a video every 6 weeks, and some have just fallen off completely. I feel like at least the people I've watched on a regular basis have really kind of almost completely stopped. Michigan Piper announced he was leaving all social media for Lent, and he'll try. He thinks he'll come back after Easter. But I've heard a number of Pipers or video guys kind of stepped away from the camera for a while. It's an interesting phenomenon to see so many do it over the last 3 or 4 months. And with that, guys, we'll say goodnight. Again, these are my, for those of you who comment, I always try to get back to you. I've had a lot of comments in the last couple of weeks. These fireside chats are probably my most favorite to make. But showing you around, my social videos, showing you around is my second favorite. But I love doing these videos. I especially like it when it's circular. When you teach me something, or when your calls or questions or the action plans we put together trigger something in me and I can bring it back into these videos, man, that is very fulfilling for me in here. So thank you for that. Guys, that's it. I hope you got a great weekend planned. I hope you got next week planned. I hope you're using to-do lists. Hope you got your life into calendars. Hope few things are surprising you anymore. And with that, guys, I'll ask that God bless you and the lives around you. I ask God to turn his ear to your prayer. I ask God that he make his face shine upon you and those close to you. And may he bless your life as he has blessed mine and continues to do so to this day. Good night, everybody.